Usually when Peppa gets sick, her parents call the doctor and life goes back to normal. This time, however, things have gotten much worse. This is the first time the doctors have had to deal with this disease. Their life is ruined. It all started when Peppa saved up her money and went to an amusement park where she bought a ticket from Miss Rabbit. She was hoping to get a hot air balloon ride, but all she won was a soda. She was very disappointed. She saw another prize on Miss Rabbit's table, a good luck charm. And at that moment she thought about the fact that she often got into trouble. Perhaps she was just unlucky. She understood that it was just a cheap souvenir that wouldn't change anything. Such talismans only work in fairy tales. But if it existed in real life, she could do so much. She'd give anything for it. The next day, Peppa was still sad. She saw some glitter in the ground. It was a pendant. It was unusual. It shimmered in the light in a way that ordinary jewelry doesn't. Peppa was happy. She believed that dreams come true, and it was the good luck charm she wished for. But it still had to be tested. She talked her parents into going to the amusement park again tomorrow. She washed the pendant clean of dirt and hid it under her clothes so no one would know her secret. She went to bed full of hope. When she got to the amusement park, the first thing she did was run to Miss Rabbit. It's working. Now she would never take it off again. She really enjoyed the hot air balloon ride. It was the best day ever. When she woke up the next day, she looked out the window. There were puddles all around, just the way she likes it. The pendant still worked. However, her skin itched. Some strange irritation on her body. But Peppa didn't think much of it. But as time went on, it got worse. One day, Mummy Pig made her a delicious pizza, which was lucky. But Peppa didn't want to eat it. She lost any appetite at all. Later, the headaches started. She couldn't take it anymore. She decided that the talisman was cursed, but it was an artifact. She thought it was right to give it to a museum. Then her discovery would be written about in all the newspapers. Peppa asked her parents to go to the museum tomorrow. She took off the talisman to stop the curse and hid it under her pillow. The parents had made a vacation plan for tomorrow. Besides the museum, they were going to visit the mountains. Peppa went to bed, waiting for tomorrow to hand over the talisman and her torment would be over. But in the morning, she felt sick. She could barely contain the urge to vomit. But she tried not to show it, put the pendant in her pocket, and they drove off. After a little while, Peppa got carsick. She said she couldn't go any farther. But the tickets had already been bought. Luckily, there was Grandpa Pig's house nearby, where they decided to leave Peppa. That day she just lay there watching TV, not knowing what to do. She put the pendant under the couch and went to bed. But in the morning she felt so sick she couldn't get up. They called an ambulance. The doctors didn't believe her story of the curse. It all seemed too unscientific. They didn't understand what was wrong with her until Dr. Brown Bear remembered the symptoms and decided to check something out. All her clothes were emitting radiation. Everyone was shocked. In the past, people didn't know about the harm of radiation and used radioactive substances in dishes and jewelry for their beautiful color. And that was the case with this pendant. It helped to prescribe treatment.
Don't worry, the doctor said Peppa's gonna be fine. I took a day off from work to get some...
When Daddy Pig drove up to the house, he saw that their house was marked with radioactive danger signs and the entrance was locked. The building was now dangerous to be in. He called Grandpa Pig in desperation, but his house was also contaminated with radiation. They were left without a place to live. All the money went to Peppa's treatment. They settled in a shed next to the house. It's damp and cramped. They did not even have enough money to treat Polly Parrot, who turned out to be more sensitive to radiation, and died. Peppa's parents managed to find a way out. They gave their children to friends for sleepovers. But they were forced to huddle together, eating food from the garden.